We're going to talk Suicide Squad. The first thing I want to talk about is the fact that Suicide Squad has broken some records. So it has the highest August opening weekend now of all time, which is 133,682,248. It's currently the 13th highest comic book movie. Alright? Highest domestic grossing comic book movie. So the only Marvel movies that are ahead of it are the Marvel Avengers, Age of Ultron, Iron Man 3, Captain America Civil War, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Right? Honestly speaking, I don't think it's going to make Guardians of the Galaxy numbers, but it does depend on where its last million weekend lies. If its last million weekend lies this weekend, then I still suspect it won't do it. If its last weekend over a million is the following weekend, I do believe it will do it. Alright? It will actually surpass Batman v Superman. But just the trajectory of its monies, how its monies are decreasing, I think personally that it won't do it. But then again, things can happen. Now when we look at Suicide Squad's daily earnings, this is its weekend earnings, where we're looking at how it's ramping down. But if we look at its daily earnings, this will give us a prediction as to whether it will make or not make the million over this weekend. So it starts off pretty low. As you can see, 200 million, 200 spikes up. This is what happens every Tuesday. So this is not something strange. And then it drops, and then it picks back up here. So this little section here, if you look at the pattern above, you see that happens. Now if it drops, and then it picks back up here, it usually picks up by 200%. So if the number here is, say for instance, it's somewhere around $150,000. Let's say it's $150,000. If it picks up by over 200%, like for instance here, over 200% is 500,000, but it did 800,000. 200% here is 700,000, but it did 1.1 or 1.2 million, right? So if the number should be 300,000, it's going to jump up a lot higher than that by a certain factor. So if it's 300,000, I would suspect that the Friday's total will be somewhere near $400,000, $500,000, okay, for Friday. And what will happen Saturday, I don't know. I can't say, but this is what I'm looking at here. I'm looking at where its position is with respect to everybody in its latest collection of data. And you can see it's still at number 8th place, even after all this time. What this says is that whatever the new releases are, they're the ones to change the dynamic. It's still in the top 10 grossing films up to Wednesday. I don't know what Thursday's numbers look like, but Thursday's number goes lower usually, and Friday's numbers pop up. So my guess, my take is, if Friday it makes 500,000 and Saturday it does roughly, let's say it makes 800,000. Okay, so it goes up 800,000, and then on Sunday it does something like 700 to 500,000. It's going to cross $1 million, right? And that may be the third and final weekend. It depends on how close that million is to 2 million. If it crosses 2 million, then it's really ramping down rather slowly, and so it could go a 10th weekend ramping down, and that would be very interesting, quite frankly. So we'll have to see how Suicide Squad does. But I just wanted to share this information, a little update as well on Suicide Squad. You guys have a great one.